kicking out a crazy beat.
What is going on, guys? It is me, Troy, and I'm here again today, and I'm here to share this video, which is not really a TBR, but kind of sort of, but it's really just the books that I have brought together that I am interested in reading, hopefully within the month of October. And you know, I got my white t-shirt on today because it is hot. Okay, you know, speaking of October, it is terribly hot. All right, so I just need to feel loose, fancy, and free. I need to have, you know, the colors bring on too much heat for me. I'm a sweat box at times, so they say, and I'm gonna keep moving forward in this video. Okay, I'm not gonna name this October TBR. I'm gonna spell the word October backwards and then put TBR on the end of that. And that's what this is going to be, because it's going to be a mix mash of a whole bunch of different things, kind of sort of related to this season. The number one being, of course, spooky reads. The next one is being some cozy mysteries because of the turn of the season, you know, fall, and the colors, and especially the temperature, which is not in effect as of right now. And then the other one is mostly the new books that have come out by some of my favorite authors. You know, fourth quarter, we're getting into the holiday season. And then the last one is actually Victober, which I've never really participated in, but I'll put a link to Kate's House channel down below as it pertains to the Victober read-a-thon or something. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. So the first book is actually The Count of Monte Cristo. I know it's not Crisco, it's Cristo. But The Count of Monte Cristo, as you guys know, Dee Dee is hosting a read-along of this particular big book. This book can build a house. Habitat for Humanity, you need a book. This book will be the one to help you get your baseboards going. But anyway, The Count of Monte Cristo, I love this cover, by the way. But this is going to be a read-along. I'll put a link to Dee Dee's channel down below, as well as the Goodreads group, where she has parceled out each of the different, you know, reading brackets for, you know, the chapters as well as the page count as it regards reading this book throughout the month of October all the way into November. What I decided to do is I'm kind of a couple of pages behind. Girl, I had to take my grandma to the doctor yesterday, and you know how taking elderly care to the doctor, that can be a day. All right, so what I decided to do to catch up is I bought the audio version on Amazon for $2.99, and it is unabridged, so that's going to help me along with that. But anyway, I'm excited to read this book. From what I have read already, girl, they are so shady already. The man, we used to that, but they are so shady already. Like, they finna do this guy so dirty. So with that out of the way, some of my favorite authors have released books as recently as Tuesday, considering this is Thursday. And the first one is Tess Garrison's The Shape of Night, her latest release, which is not a part of her Rizzoli Now series. This is a standalone. It is both a combination of thrillers as well as romantic suspense and a touch of a paranormal or ghost story in it. But as you guys know, I love me some Tess Garrison, and I swear I tried my best not to buy this book. I said I'm going to put this on my library's whole list. The whole list was up to 16 people. I said, girl, God, just thank you, Lord, for the money to just buy the book, because I ain't got time to be waiting on these folks to finish that book. But I love Tess Garrison. She always tells a pretty decent story, except for maybe one book that I've read by her. But anyway, I cannot wait. After Tess Garrison, I do have Patricia Cornwell's latest book, which is Quantum. This is the first book in her Captain Chase series. Now, girl, we could get into the controversy behind this author, behind not only her personal, well, we'll say what pickets of information we can get from her personal life, but that aside is so unnecessary and irrelevant. But from her writing, anyway, we can get into the controversy of this author. Well, I will go ahead and say that I am a fan of this author because I absolutely love her Kay Scarpetta series. I am a ride or die when it comes to this series, even though we know that after the 9th book, when she switched perspectives from first to third, that the series. But in 2010, she picked up the pace and changed the perspective back from the third person back into the first person. But that's kind of aside. The point is that this is a new series that's removed from her Kay Scarpetta series, and instead of being focused on forensics and anthropology and medical examiners lifestyle, you know, that whole big mishmash of deal, this is going to be focused on space exploration and a NASA project that has gone terribly wrong regarding murder. Now, as we know, Patricia Cornwell, girl, her writing style is so dense. Her books are so dense. To be so small, they're so thick in jargon and they're terribly paced. I mean, they're terribly paced. You can spend 2 chapters in one scene, practically, I guess you can say. And I think one of the biggest drawbacks from this particular author is, well, we'll leave that aside. But despite this book getting a lot of 1-star reviews, I am a loyalist and I have to give this girl a go. I did put this on my library's hold. It said 15 in line. I said, you know what, I just might as well buy it. So combining both new releases from some of my favorite authors as well as some spooky reads, I do have The Institute by Stephen King that I want to read this month. First of all, I kind of stopped buying Stephen King books because it's checked them out from our library instead, because the books are so big that they take up so much shelf space. But let me tell you, I am shallow, okay? I am so shallow, but I absolutely freaking love the composition of this cover that I was like, I'm not going to be, once again, 15th in line to check this book out. So I just bought it. It was on sale, right? But I cannot wait to read The Institute. I have been avoiding reviews of this book, but I got a good feeling that I'll like it. Stephen King generally does not disappoint. Occasionally he does, but he tells a good story, so, you know, I will see what happens. And then I got The Gunslinger, which is the first book in his The Dark Tower series. I tried to read this book back in 2008 per the urging of one of my managers at a bookstore. Could not get into it, girl. They say it is very hard to get into this book. But I said, I'm going to try it again. And so I got this book. And I have not seen the movie, even though, you know, we know why they're hating on that movie, right? We all know why people are hating on that movie. So as it regards Victober, I do got Anne Perry's the first Charlotte and Thomas Pitt novel, which is The Cather Street Hangman. This is a Victorian mystery, and I cannot wait to get into it. And it's just going to be a wonderful thing. That's really all I have to say about this book, but it looks really good, and I finally got to it. And to keep up with spooky reads just a touch, I'm going to be reading, hopefully, Midnight Robber by Nalo. I love that. It made me think of ice cream. Nalo Hopkinson. Last year I read her book Brown Girl in the Ring, and I enjoyed it. Although I have some kind of like these dual objecting thoughts about the particular book. I feel like it. Okay, I'll put a link to my written blog post down below. But Midnight Robber, I pretty much avoid reading the synopsis of it, but I enjoyed Brown Girl in the Ring so much that I immediately bought this a year ago. And I did read her book Sister Mine, and I did not like that book. Then up here I have my cozies and a few more mysteries here, and I'm just going to share that right here. And I'm currently reading, as you can see my bookmark, Pearl and Prayer by Olivia Matthews. This is the second book in her Sister Lou series. Sister Lou is a plainclothes nun who solves these little cozy mysteries. And I've actually been conversing a little bit, I guess you can say, with the author. And just stay tuned. I guess we'll say stay tuned. I've had a really interesting year conversing with a few authors that I've presented books about. So that's pretty neat. And then I'm going to be reading, as another cozy, Abby Cooper, Psychic Eye by Victorian Laurie. This is the first book in her Psychic Eye mystery series. And I actually had a copy of that book on my own one time, but I was unhauling some books and I got rid of it more or less accidentally. But I have this thing in me, just like you guys, where my spirit be screaming to read certain books. It screams, and that's when it's like, I want to read it again. I want to try to read it. I want to try it again. And so I want to cross this book off my list, which is Mum's the Word by Kate Collins. This is the first book in her Flower Shop mystery series. And then I have Undemnity's Death by Nancy Atherton. But someone left a comment on one of my videos, and we were conversing about what she was interested in reading, or what she was currently reading or binge reading per cozy series. And this was one of the series, is one of the authors. I actually tried to read this book 2 summers ago and could not get into it, girl. Could not get into it. But I said, I always give some things, I just give it another go. I feel like the universe be trying to pull me back into something. So the universe was like, child, get this one more go. See if you really want to just axe and chop this off of your reading list. But we'll see. It'll probably be the last book I get into. And then finally, I have The Cutting Season by Attica Locke. As you guys know, this was really popular on the BT circuit a couple of years ago, but I checked this out from my library because I saw it just on a whim, I guess you can say. And I said, well, I haven't read it yet, perfect timing. It's a combination of, I think, a little bit of mystery, a little bit of perhaps spookiness. It's giving me all these myrtle plantation vibes, but I'll leave much more detailed information down below, as I want to make this video quick. And plus, you guys have seen everybody talk about this book at this point, I'm sure. So that is it, guys. That's my pseudoscience TBR, and we'll see what it gives. So anyway, that's it, guys. Take care. See y'all in the next video. And of course, share with me what you're going to be reading or most excited about reading within the month of October.